Okay, so this is going to be a small recap video of the steps I needed to go through in order to remove the intake. This is a Ford Focus 2005 on a Duratec engine. The issue that I was having is basically the PCV hose was giving me issues. It collapsed basically. In this particular model, in the Duratec, you have to actually take the entire intake in order to access the hose. And you can see the hose. I'm going to see if I can get it on the video here, where when I'm touching with a screwdriver. Let me see if I can focus enough. So this that you see here, over there, that's the PCV hose. Not this one, not the lighter gray, but the darker gray. That's half of it, and the other half you can see from below. I'm going to show it in a minute. So in order to change that, you need to take the entire intake off. And it's not terribly difficult, but it's laborious. The way I did it, I didn't remove the entire shroud and the entire radiator, so that made it more challenging in order to reach that point and actually change the hose, because the space that you have is it's very narrow. But other than that, I was able to do it, but it took a more work. So anyway, to begin, you need to, and I'm not by any means any experts on this, so this is just a reference video. I don't even know what most of these things here are. I just follow a guide, and in order to remove this, remove that, so you can take the entire intake off. So I'm not even going to say what I'm removing. I'm just going to tell you what I did, and that's it. So to begin with, you need to, first the easy ones, you need to remove this this hose over here. You need to remove this prisons over here. You need to remove the little, let's see if I can, the screw here to remove the oil pipe here. You need to, there is a little connector here over here. Let's see if I can show it. So this has a preset that's hooked to the intake, so you need to remove the preset over there too. You need to take this out. See, you need to take this. The way this kind of clasp work is you just need to press it, press in the middle, and then pull, and that's it. You need to remove this. I'm going to show in a minute that you need to also remove this is the snow cover for the throttle. So you need to remove this. You need to take this preset off completely. Take this off. You need to remove this little pipe here. You need to take that off. You need to take this off. The sensor over here. Did you see it? Sensor over here. The way that it works is basically the same as the one here. You just need to press the middle of it and pull, and it will be out. So you need to remove this sensor over here, and you also need to remove the sensor over here. Same system. You might want to remove the preset over here also. Let me see if I can focus enough. Remove the preset here. You need to take that out. You also need to, I'm going to show how to take this out, because this one actually took me a little while to figure out. You need to remove this. It's fairly easy. You just rotate this a little bit and the hose will go right out. You need to remove this entire piece. It has a couple of screws here and here. Just loose those and you'll be able to pull it off. That is it when it comes to sensors. In order to remove this little guy over here,
See if I can focus enough. So you see it has a little red ring. What you need to do is you need to put a screwdriver or something like that and between this edge and the red one, keep the red one down and pull this up. That was the only way I had in order to remove it. It was kind of difficult. So once you got the hoses, once you're able to remove the hoses, now it's time, hoses and the sensor, it's time to take the actual bolts out of the intake in order to take the entire intake out. A couple of bolts are hidden, a couple are easy access. So the ones that are easy access are, let me see here. So you got one over here. This is one of the easiest one. You got this. You got another here. That's the easy. And then we go into narrow places. So you got another one. Let's see if I can get it with the camera. You got another one down here. I'm trying to get it. Ah, there. So you got one right over here. As you see, it's a very tight spot. You got one there. There is another one right in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you. Right in the middle. So you see, this is the middle of the intake. You got this little hose here. If you go straight in, down there, you will see another bolt. I'm trying to show it. You see a couple there. It's right there. So that one is very hard to access. It's not the most difficult one. So you got this one. You also have another one on the side. You're not able to see it here because of the stuff is in the way, but you got another one here on the side. And then you see this. If you see this, which I don't know what it is, if you follow this line, you know what it ends when it finishes. If you follow that line into the intake, you'll see another bolt, which is you never get to see it actually. It's you just have to feel it with your fingers and just put the wrench there. All of them are 10 millimeters, and the only one that's missing right now, I'm going to show you. Right there. So I don't know if you can, there you go. So that's the 8th. You got 8 bolts. That is the most challenging one to reach because of the little space you have. So you really don't have a lot of room to put like a wrench there. So once you got everything out, once you got all the bolts out, you just you're gonna have a little opening between the intake and the engine. It's gonna be pretty much about this big. In order for you to reach out and unplug the hose, the PCV hose, that's on the moment you can just unplug it here on the top of it, and you can at that point can take the entire intake off. I didn't want to do that because I have a couple of things still plugged in, so I was able to reach down, use a couple of pliers to move it out a little bit, the clamp, and I was able to take it out and put the new one in. So it's kind of tight, but you should be able to do that without taking the entire thing completely off. But you do have to remove pretty much all the bolts, most of the sensors anyway. It's not terribly difficult, it's just laborious. So yeah, once you have the PCV hose out, you put the new one in and you just follow the same, just plug everything back in,
bolts, I recommend putting first on one, the one in the corner here, and the second, the one below. So that way you are pretty sure that you're not putting it out of axis, and that everything fits properly. And then you just put the rest of them back in. Okay. I think that should be like some sort of guideline if you're actually going to attempt this. Then you just need, once you have everything in place, you got the new PCV hose in, just put all the bolts and start plugging everything. Don't forget the different sensors, and you only got like just a handful of hoses that you need to plug in, just like probably 3. Mostly it's sensors that you're going to have to unplug and that's it. And mainly the only 2 big pieces that you're going to remove is this and the cover here, and the cover over here for the throttle. And that's it. All right. I think that's it. Peace out.